How does New York fund it, and should we be funding it with sales tax, or how?
Each different municipality, each different system finds different sources of funding. And there needs to be a dialogue with respect to how important the funding is, what the size of the ask is, and what the different revenue sources that you could tap. There's no one prescribed one-size-fits-all solution. So what may be a property tax in another area could be a sales tax in another area, could be real estate transfer taxes in another area, payroll taxes. The most important thing is the engaged dialogue to reinforce the importance of that sustainable funding and finding ways to be able to identify that everybody can accept.
Taking a look at Vancouver now compared to when you left, what do you think?
Well, Vancouver is an excellent place to live. I mean, it has definitely earned the right as one of the most livable cities in the world. And when I come back, I miss that piece of it. The challenges that it faces on a transportation front, like I said before, are no different than any place else. And very rarely are the first passes at trying to identify those funding sources reached on the first pass. It takes 2 or 3 passes because there has to be an engaged dialogue. So I find Vancouver pretty much on that track, on that path, trying to identify what those funding sources are with the provincial government, with the local municipalities, and a limited role from the federal government. But it's the same as it is other places in North America.
Can TransLink function as is and do what it's supposed to do, what the region wants it to do as it is, or does it need to be changed?
I think you'd probably have to ask Ian Jarvis and the people that run TransLink right now, but certainly that was the case when I was here. They certainly focused on the elected leaders, the importance of it, and put together a plan to be able to get funding. So absolutely, yes, the system speaks for itself. I mean, anybody who goes to Vancouver and comes and visits and sees the system, they come back talking about the SkyTrain, Coast Mountain Bus, the Sea Bus, etc. And so, you know, that's a very positive experience from people outside the area. Sometimes people that live here take it for granted, but that's the same in New York. It wasn't until we had the hurricane and we lost the system for 2 or 3 days that people understood how important the New York City subway and the transportation network that MTA has is important to the region.
What is the one thing Vancouver isn't doing that you think it needs to do to be able to push transportation further right now?
I honestly can't identify a single thing. I think they're having this engaged dialogue. This particular conference, I think it's attended by 500 people, is an indication of the level of interest and effort people are expending to try to solve this problem. So I can't identify a single thing that they'd have to focus on to do. Just keep the dialogue going. Keep the messaging going about how important TransLink is to the region. If you're going to see 1 million more people on a base of 2.5 million people on the Lower Mainland, you're going to have a sound transportation system to be able to accommodate for a sustainable life and keep Vancouver the most livable city in the world.
If you could get another kick at the can here, would you come back?
I've got enough work to do in New York. I went back for the challenge. I love this place. It was a very difficult decision for me to leave and go there. But New York is the transportation network I'd worked in before. So when I was given the opportunity to go back and run New York City Transit, it was an opportunity I couldn't refuse. I never thought I'd be chairman of the MTA, but there's a lot of challenges there that we need to meet, and I'm there for the course.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.